You really got seven really scarce ones there in a line. There's a lot of tractors here that all the panels have been made in Gympie. Aluminium pieces have gone to a foundry in Maryborough to get done. So, yeah, a lot of effort. A Super 90. That tractor was a real wreck. The tyres fell off the rims when it was unloaded off the truck. Yeah, that was virtually from ground up, that one. Probably took 6 or 8 months to do that one. A lot of them were sold around Kingaroy for peanut work, and that's first to the Perkins. That's got a Perkins engine. Harry Ferguson actually bought Frank Perkins out, so naturally you use Perkins motors. That's the original seat colours on it that they come with. You can get most of the decals, yeah. Yeah, don't buy them too far gone. Yeah, buy them reasonable, pay a bit more for them, and makes the job a lot easier. The scarce models, you can't do anything about it because you just got to buy what you can buy because there's no option. 95, that one. It's a Minneapolis Moline built for Massey. In a Moline it was called a GVI. In a Massey it was called a 95. I found that one in Canada. Come a long way, yes. That's why it's got all new tyres. You can't have cracks in the tyres, can't have oil leaks. But if you do it all right, it works out all right. The grey in that is painted wrong. That was painted in Canada. That's Stoneleigh grey. It should be a mist grey. That's just a bigger version of what we've just seen, once again made by Minneapolis Moline. In a Moline that was a G705. In a Massey it's a 97. Victoria, yeah, it was in pretty good condition actually. How do we attack it? Yeah, do all the mechanicals first. Oil leaks, diesel leaks, and then start on the panels, and then sandblast them. New paint, new stickers, new seats, and you end up with what you see here. But not quite as quick. Another tractor, a Massey 98, it's made by Oliver. It's got a GM 2-stroke diesel, very noisy, and I think they only made small numbers of them too. This one come from America, but they did actually come to Australia. I don't really know how many come here, it wasn't a real lot. I restored in America, that one. I tried not to bring anything in that didn't come to Australia. Only the models that come to Australia I like to have, yeah. Still running, we can fire this one up. They were better men than me to drive them in their time with the noise that comes out of them. The final bit where you paint them as your achievement, yeah. Because you don't think you're getting too far when you're doing oil and diesel leaks. But then when you see the final article come out the shed, you think, well, it's well worth it.
I hear you coming.
Yeah, very noisy, yeah. A lot of hours on that tractor, yeah. More hours than any other tractor we've owned.